Why most coaches suck literal balls at coaching. In this video, I'll exactly break down why where you are. Where you are. The reason being is that if you're stuck at 10 to 20K a month, is because you do not understand these four pillars. These four pillars, and of course, oh, I'm a business owner. I know what sales is, I know what marketing is, I know what fulfillment is, I know what client relationship is, I know what knowledge greed. If you know all these things, okay, why are you not making $1 billion? Because I know there's businesses in your niche that makes $1 billion. What's stopping you from making $1 billion? And if people say, "Oh, I'm in the bad business model," or "I'm in the bad niche," that the niche is not an issue. You can Google how much the people in that niche make and how much the industry is in total. Like if I okay, let's say I'm a consultant, right? There are companies that do billions of dollars. I think there's McKinsey. There's so many companies that do billions of dollars every single year from consulting companies. Why can I not do that? So what's the problem? The problem is not, first of all, the problem is not the business model. The problem is not the niche. The problem is you. You are the biggest bottleneck of your business. And today I'll help you to completely get that out of the way and make a lot more money. Now, the main idea is that you being a coach is not just like being like a coach. I see a lot of people in the industry which are like, oh, I'm just a coach. I'm just that guy. No, you are a business operator. What you need to do is just learn these four pillars to the surface. Don't become an expert in any of these. Now, I'll tell you why. The reason I tell that you don't need to become an expert in any of these is because you are good at what you do. So let's say if you're a basketball coach, let's say you're a voice coach, let's say you're a make money online for women coach, let's say you're I don't know, you're an Amazon women DAFY coach, whatever you do, right? In that particular order, you are good at that thing. You need to be good at that thing. Now, if you're not good at that thing, now you're scamming people. That's the truth. So, first of all, you need to be good at what your skill is. I don't care what your skill is. Maybe it's cooking food. Maybe you teach you how to cook food. Doesn't really matter. But you need to be good at that and also learn these four pillars to the surface level. Because why? Because once you understand that you have the knowledge to do the task which you want to give your clients to, you understand how to transfer that knowledge. Now the rest of the business goes in part. And the reason why I'm saying you need to learn even the surface and not learn nothing is that you have an idea of what's good or bad. So as a business owner, you are going to learn things which are going to be kind of surface based, and your skill needs to be the expert level, because as soon as you gain expertise in any industry, you'll get paid the most. Now, saturation means most people are really, really bad at what they do, and there's a lot of average people in that entire specific niche. So how do we stand out? We stand out by being what? An expert. We stand out by being the best surgeon in the country. Now, if we can do that, we'll get paid. But the issue is now that we're an expert, but we're not good at these things. So what we do, we learn how to delegate. We learn how to deliver systems properly. We learn how to track. We learn all these things. But you have to learn these things. You can't not do it yourself. You need to hire people. You need to learn from mentors. You need to learn from consulting or someone who's a business coach, someone who understands your situation and have helped and been through your situation multiple times again and again and again. Because that guy is an expert in these pillars. Do you understand? You're an expert in your skill, and the consultant, the business coach, whoever it is, they are expertise in all of these skills. So that's how you learn. So let's talk about sales in the first place. Now, coaches think that, first of all, revenue doesn't matter. A lot of people will tell you, oh, just run ads, do a VSL, or like run ads, do sell a low ticket product. You'll make so much more money. The amount of chargebacks and the amount of refunds and the amount of headache it goes to into a cold traffic, and on top of that, handle the refunds, handle all that stuff is a nightmare. So what a company will tell you is that, oh, we help Delphi hit five million, $1 million a year or something like ridiculous, right? And she did it in 28 days. Okay, awesome, fantastic. $1 million, let's say in a month, in 30 days. You're amazed. So what do you do now? You see how much profit she made. You need to see that. Because what happens is that most of the time Delphi is not walking with $1 million. Sometimes they take most of the money. There's chargeback, there are ads, there's so much that goes into it. She probably made like 50K maybe max, or maybe she made 100K max. But the numbers they tell you, and this is their marketing strategy that they do, is that they tell you she made $1 million. Oh my god! But in reality, how much money is going into our pocket? You need to look at the pocket and not on the big case. You need to look at the bank and not the numbers that they tell you around, because that's what happens most of the time. There's how the course seller and there's these course kids sell you in the first place by telling you these big imaginary numbers, which is not true. Now, once you learn that this doesn't really matter that much, you need to go to people that are scaling and have scaled multiple people at this avenue, whatever you suck at. First of all, you need to see your business now. Most people don't even know how to see their business. So let's say you're making 10K a month, right? So okay, you need to see by how many hours you're working in a month and see how much output there is. So you need to break this down by 30 days, then you break down it by an hour, and then you see your hourly rate. Let's say it's $20, right? I think that would be applicable. But let's say it's $20 an hour. Now, what you need to do is either automate that process for $20 that you're doing on meaningless. If it doesn't make you $20, you stop it. Let's say you are doing lead gen. You're doing lead gen manually. You're reaching out to people manually. You have content right there, but reaching out to them manually, you're like, hey, I saw your comment, your post. That could mean a lot of money. That could be good. But the actual task is not going to generate you any money. What you need to do is focus on the highest ROI task you can do, which is what? Delegation, which is what? Coming up with ideas, which is thinking, okay, how can I move from this to, let's say, 100K a month? So this thinking, nobody can do that for you. Either you have a mentor that can do the thinking for you, but he's going to ask you questions to probe you into that thinking position, or you yourself are thinking about how do I scale, because your employee doesn't matter. Another point that I want to make out, which I'm going to make in the fulfillment side of things, is that most people think that, okay, I've hired this person for X, Y, and Z, and this is because of SMMA, all the marketing that people have done, that, hey, you just need to arbitrage people and you can make money. No, you won't. The reason why this is why most SMMA guy fail, because they suck at market. They suck at the actual skill. They're like, okay, I'm going to pay this editor and this VA $15 and he's going to produce me world-class content, and it's going to go against the entire world of billions of people, and it's going to make money, which is a fantasy. So first of all, you need to focus on your skill, and as soon as you have done that, you see, okay, how can I delegate or find an automation to do the highest ROI skill and focus on my skill. This is what you're expert at. If I have two people, let's say I have this one person. Let me draw this beautiful diagram. I have this one person, right? This one person right here has some delegation. He has some little minions, let's say. He has one. Let me make two of these guys. They all look dysmorphic. Don't worry. They're in good care. And there's you, right? I'm not. Oh, I even made you dysmorphic. Sorry. But basically, let's say this guy, he has these people, right? And what these guys are doing the monotonous, like, again and again, like, kind of like these low ROI tasks. And what this guy is doing is he's focusing on his actual skill, which is, let's say he's a basketball coach. So what is he doing is that he's actually playing basketball more than you. And you're out here, you don't have any people, you don't have any automation, you're doing all this work. You're like, I need to make money, boom, 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 boom. And what happens is that you are, let's say he trains 8 hours a day on his skills, right? Which could be anything, whatever your niche is. And you're doing 2 hours a day. On a long enough time frame, who would be a better expert and who would produce better content, you or him? Ask yourself this question. Who would produce better content? Who would make better videos towards the ICP, you or him? Who would beat you in the long run, you or him? Because you're stingy, and I'm sorry if I'm roasting it, because it just makes me mad a little bit. But if you're stingy, right, and you don't delegate the task, or you don't automate these tasks because you're like, oh, I don't want to lose any of my money I made this, because you're comfortable in that position, right? This guy is ready to take the risk. And a lot of times these people come with a headache. These people are not going to be, and also hiring does not mean that you just find the guy and he's just going to, you're not hiring from, like, let's say, open AI employees. Even those guys, they don't work if you don't have the right leadership. So leadership is key. You need to learn that. So I'm telling you, you need to learn these small kind of topics in between each. But let me go back to my point. Now, these two guys, they do a decent job, and this guy keeps an eye on them. Okay, how does he know he's doing a decent job or not? Or how does he know how to manage or handle them? He learned it from someone else. And this is the entire game that I'm telling you. You need to learn, you need to get better at doing these tasks of delegation and hiring, not yourself, by someone who does it for other people and who does it again and again and again. Because he has transferred this, he had learned this from here, transferred into his mind, boom, 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 boom. Then he's going to transfer it into his people, boom, 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 boom. And they're going to make money. And also, he can focus on his skill now and get better while you're stuck here, not learning and just sitting there and being like, let me see what's happening. Why is my business stuck at this? You need to learn how to track and then tweak and then repeat. Most people do the opposite way. They tweak something and then repeat it. You need to try. I call the TTR method. TTR method is you track, you tweak, you repeat. You track, you tweak, you repeat. Does this working? No, I'm gonna change a little bit. Then you repeat. And these results, which are getting tweaked, if you have 4 people or 2 people doing it, will be what? Faster than you doing it. And you also focusing on your skill. And you also doing this. You're half-assing everything, which causes you to make no money. And if you're even making 20, 30 grand a month, you're working like probably, I would say, like on the business itself, like 12 hours a day or something ridiculous. And it's not even, of course, I enjoy working. I work amount of these hours, but like I make a lot more money. That's the first point. Second part is that I understand like what is this whiteboard that I have. It says high, you can't see it, but it says a high ROI. I wake up in the morning after I'm going to start my work. I write 6 of the most important tasks I have to do today that will move the needle. I have my regular task, I have my regular things, but I do, okay, I need to do this with this. I need to do this with that. I have my clients, I manage them, I work with them. That's all right. But I have me personal time because I have delegation done via automations and via people that I have, is that I can sit down and be like, okay, what's going to move my business? And you need that clarity, you need that zone. So just do that. Just learn from people and start to delegate and start to automate. These 2 tasks can be almost completely automated in the sense of course, like you need to do the marketing to show your face if you have a face brand, and I probably think most of you guys do. So you need to understand this super good about marketing, is that you can kind of like ask or get a second opinion even by AI by why those video. Now what I do with my clients is that we make this a project where we ask ChatGPT, okay, like these are my top 10 videos. Why did they work? What was about them that worked? What was about the angle? What was about the storytelling? What was different in these? It breaks down the components. You make a JSON profile out of it. And then whenever you make a new video, we bypass it by this and it asks, tweak this, do this, do this, do this, which gets to what? It just starts creating bangers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As soon as we have a winning concept, we do TTR. We track, we tweak, we repeat again and again and again. And at this point, when the guy knows or the coach knows exactly how to produce the right content, they're making money. They're doing that, and they're focusing on what? Again, they're focusing on their skill. They have more time now. With the sales department, they know how to delegate. They know how to basically focus on hiring a good team, hiring good people, hiring people that actually care for them. Most of the time, you don't need a good closer if your setter is good and if your content is marketed at the right place at the right time. Literally. Like you can sit down, take like 2 blocks out of your day and just close people and like have 0 issues if you're marketing and if your ICP is dialed in and if you have a good decent growth specialist, also called a setter. Now a growth specialist and a VA is different. VA does the monotonous, just keep on doing repeating tasks. They don't have a brain. I'm sorry if you're a VA, but usually they don't think about your business and growing away. A setter or a growth specialist sits there and understands that, okay, I want to make this guy money. What can we tweak? They do the TTR method again, which is track, tweak and repeat. Now, this comes down to fulfillment. Now, this is where most of the people fuck up the most. This is like the most annoying thing ever. Now, fulfillment. Fulfillment is where you make the money because fulfillment drives 2 things, the sales and the marketing. So this is something you need to focus on. You need to give your clients that experience, that expertise via what? The fulfillment. So now because you're smart and you have a brain, you have dialed your marketing to your ICP, you're making sales, your setter you have a growth specialist, the fulfillment becomes easy because you're focusing on your skill. You're focusing on your skill, you're focusing on your clients, and that does what? Build better client relationships. If you can spend more time fixing your client's problem and sitting there and understanding what is their exact like day-to-day, like what their like specific problems are, first of all, your marketing is going to be better because you understand your avatar 10 times better. Second of all, your sales is going to be easier because you have testimonials, you may even have referrals. So both of these things get fixed by this. So it's integrated, you see, right? And that's what's going to create the difference between you or someone who, makes like a really highly fluctuated income. And the reason is that this greed and highly fluctuated system are both the causes of your growth not being where you want it to be. Let me tell you why. This is a diagram of someone who, first of all, you're starting out, you don't know anything. You start making money, you're like, okay, you plateau. Now, most people literally just stay here for like months on months or even years on it. So someone who's smart does is that they go down, literally they go down, then they hit this new level. They're like, oh, this sucks a lot. Like this is extremely bad. They learn. They delegate, which causes to do what? Boom, skyrocket. Then again, they're here in this plateau. Then they go down, then they boom, then skyrocket again. And this entire process is your journey to making, I don't know, $1 million a month, even $1 billion, whatever it is. And that's what they do. The reason why the company that makes that $1 billion make it because they do this process at fast. They do this thing in minutes, in days, because they have the staff to handle it. They have the delegation, right? They know what to do, and they just test. How do you think the coach and the mentors that you follow learn what they learn? Because they tested, they took action. Most people don't understand that. When you read a book, let's say you read a book about self-improvement, let's say, right? When you read, it is the information that the person accumulated via action. So in the end, you reading and acquiring that, wow, my handwriting is so much better. You acquiring that knowledge, that information came from the action of someone else that you read and then acquire yourself. But if you just read books all day and if you just read, learn, what's going to happen is that you are going to be stuck in this information phase because you have zero action of your own. And then it's going to be like, that guy said this person said this, that person said that, which is going to cause you what? Another problems. So the main point that I'm trying to make is that the reason why you're stuck at where you're at, or the reason why you're not making money, is that you're slowly sinking. You're not building systems. You're not getting help. You're not really looking at your business as a business operator. You're not learning the fundamentals and the basics, like all these 4 things, right? Just learn the basics. Learn the basics of sales. Learn the basics of marketing. Learn fulfillment. Learn client relationship, and you'll be good. You'll genuinely, you will be in a better spot. And then just test. See what happened because you're tracking data. You're smart. Watch my previous video if you haven't seen on that one. You're tracking. You're getting better, and then boom, you make money. And that's just how it is. You go to this valley of desperation. You go to this valley of testing. There's the test valley. We test, and boom. As soon as we do that, we start making more money, start hitting numbers, 50K, 60K, whatever your goal is. And yeah, that's it. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to learn more, if you want more in-depth, I have a book a call link in my comments. You can go there and book a call with me, and I'll explain everything in detail and how I help people make ridiculous amounts of money. I think I have my story structure here. Yeah, this story structure made me like 12K. This is from the low ticket, by the way. I'm just not saying because I saw this, because yeah, I think 2 clients came in for the CTA. Yeah, but this is the type of stuff we're working with. Amazing stuff. And I learned this from someone else, and I tweaked it on my own because I do what? Action. Because I know the TTR method. So that's it for today's video. If you're serious, come on, book a call. Let's get through it, and ciao.